Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. My name is John Watts. I'm a consumer protection lawyer in Alabama. And I just received a message from a client of mine who was saying they just had this outrageous debt collection call. And I want to share this with you because we're going to see this happen more and more while we're shut down, and then particularly once we get open back up and there's money that's flowing in. These scam debt collectors will come after you. Particularly if you've ever done maybe a payday loan in the past or an online loan. And I'm talking about like a unsecured, $500 loan, $1,000 loan, and particularly payday type loans. So here's the setup. This is how they normally do it. They'll call you and they won't say, after they identify who you are, they won't say, hey, this is Joe Blow from XYZ Debt Collector. They'll say, this is Officer Smith, or this is Mr. Smith from Legal Process and Incarceration. You're like, what? Who are you? They're like, well, you owe a loan that you fraudulently took out in 2012 or 2014, and this is your last opportunity to pay for this. We're calling your HR department, we're calling your supervisor, and we'll also get with the sheriff, and we're going to have you. Sometimes it's arrested. Sometimes they'll say, we're just going to go ahead and garnish your wages, or we'll have you picked up. And the idea behind this is there's no warning. So there's no letter that you get. Okay. A real place typically will send you a letter. But you just pick up the phone and it's like, bam, you're just hit with this. And you're like, oh my goodness, what, am I going to be arrested? Am I sued? Am I garnished? What's going on? And you say, well, wait a minute, tell me a little bit about this. Go, that time is gone. There's no more time for that. You lost your opportunity for that. You pay now, or we're picking you up, or fill in the blank, taking your wages, calling your boss, whatever it might be. And so the idea is to create panic in you, to create massive amounts of stress, particularly, as we've talked about in other videos, for most people during this crisis, our income is going down, but we're watching our debts go up. So, less and less money, and now they're talking about calling your boss, calling your HR, your personnel department, to put a garnishment on you, and thinking, oh my goodness, if my company finds out about that, they may just let me go. I mean, there's 10 of us that do this type of work, and they're letting 3 of us go. I don't want to be one of those 3. So it really preys upon the fears that we have during this time of crisis. And so what do you do? Well, here's what I would suggest, and I've been telling people this for probably 20 years. The exact details of the scam call sort of change over time. So for a while, it was a foreigner calling saying that they worked for the IRS. Okay, then it would be a foreign-sounding person saying they worked for immigration, or for the Justice Department, or the FBI. Right? So it goes through all different sort of scams, but the basic point is, you get this call out of the blue. It's an outrageous threat. It's almost like it's so outrageous, it's got to be true. They're not just saying, hey, we're going to send you a letter and we might credit report, or maybe we'll see you. No, it's like, we're going to have you arrested. We're going to seize your tax refund, your stimulus check, your whatever it is. And so it's designed to surprise you and then shock you so that then you panic and you pay them some money. And they might say, look, you owe $3,000, but if you pay me $500 right now, I won't have your wages garnished. I won't call your boss. I'll do you a favor. And so it's surprise, shock, and then, here's this benefit they'll give you if you take immediate action. Now, here's what I suggest you do. Anybody calling you wanting money, anybody calling you threatening you, you say, you know what? It could be true. I mean, this is what you say in your mind. This might be true. It might be legitimate. Okay. But here's what you say to them. You go, I don't know who you are. Tell me the name of your company. Now, if it's a real place, okay, so Portfolio Recovery, if they're calling you, it's a big debt buyer, big debt collector. We've sued them. I can't tell you how many times we've sued them. So I think they break the law all the time, but they're a legitimate company, okay? If they call you and you say, who do you work for? They'll say, we work for Portfolio Recovery Associates. You go, give me your mailing address. They'll give you their mailing address. They're not going to hide that from you. You say, send me a letter. Okay, we'll send you a letter. I mean, they're going to do what they think will help them to get paid. But these scam companies that call you, They won't give you their name, or it'll be some generic thing. It'll be like Bureau of Investigation. What is that? Or they'll come up with a name that, like, the acronym is, IRS or CIA or FBI, or they'll just say we're legal. You go, well, what's the name of your company? Well, I'm not allowed to tell you that due to privacy concern. There's no privacy concerns with it. Privacy concerns is with us, okay? But they just twist that language around. And so they say, I can't tell you what the name of my company is. You go, well, send me a letter. They go, it's too late. Okay. Well, then I'm not going to pay you. Okay. If it's a real company, they will send you a letter. Now, if it's a scam company, and look, this doesn't completely eliminate all the scam companies, but I'm telling you, 20 years of doing this, like 99% of the scam companies, maybe 99.9% go away when you do this. You can say, send me a real letter through the mail. They absolutely go crazy. They're worried about mail fraud, okay? Because they're bogus. They don't really own these debts. They have no right to collect these debts. They bought your information off the dark web. So they know that you had some payday loan in 2014. They got your social, your date of birth, your address, but they don't have the right to collect it. They're identity thieves in essence. And so they don't want to send a letter across state lines. And some of them are not even located in the U.S. And so they'll say, no, I can't do that. Or maybe they'll say, I'll fax it to you. No, I don't want a fax. I'll email it to you. I don't want an email. I want a real letter with a stamp on it. And if you can't send that to me, I can't help you. Okay? Now, they may call you back a few more times. I may even call your boss or call a neighbor, call your mother-in-law. But once they realize you're not going to pay unless they send you a letter, and then you can start your investigation and see if this is a real company, they just move on to the next person. Everybody I've given this advice to over many, many, many years, they'll say, a person got real mad, and maybe they called back a couple times, and then they went away. Okay. Now, if they say we have a lawsuit against you, or we have a warrant for your arrest, say, okay, tell me the court. I got my pen. I'm ready. Now, is this Jefferson County Court? I'll call them and ask them. They go, no, this is the Madison County DA's office. Okay. Do you have a case number? Because I'm going to call the Madison County DA's office and see if they have a warrant for my arrest. Or I'm going to call the sheriff's department and see if they have this. And, usually these guys will start squirming or they'll just hang up. And so my suggestion, anybody calls you, anybody, particularly as they make these sort of outrageous threats, and you got to pay me right now. There's no time to delay. If you don't do it right now, all these bad things are going to happen. Send me a letter in the mail. Now, there's some other things. Check your credit reports. Do you see this company on there? Do you see them pulling your credit report? Check your voicemails. Are you getting advertisement letters from lawyers saying you're being sued? I mean, you have to be aware of what's going on. But I'm just telling you, if they're doing these outrageous calls, almost certainly it's a scam company. And look, we can't really sue the scam companies, okay? If it's a real company doing these things, and I've had real companies do outrageous things, and they pay outrageous amounts of money to us when we sue them. So if you can show this is a real company, that's great, because you can hammer them in a lawsuit. So I hope that this is helpful, and just sort of file this away, because there's going to be more and more of these calls, and they kind of go through cycles. Well, we're going to be on an upswing here, particularly when things open back up, because everybody's going to be nervous about, can I get my job back? Can I keep my job? And you'll start getting these calls. Just remember, I want a letter through the mail with a stamp on it. And that will get rid of 99.9% of these people. And if they do send you a letter, great. Look at it, study it, read it, and then let's see if this is legitimate. So if we can help you in any way, it's alabamaconsumer.com, or our phone number is 205-879-2447. Okay, thanks for watching this video, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.